Greetings, Saints. As we move into this weekend, a week after Pentecost, we celebrate Trinity Sunday. And one of the readings from the lectionary is Proverbs 8 about Lady Wisdom. So I want to just see if I can help us understand the relationship between the revelation of God's triune nature that pulses like a heartbeat beneath the poetry of Proverbs 8 and the words of Solomon. Lady Wisdom is personified as a vibrant and compelling presence. She calls out, not privately or quietly, she calls out boldly and universally. She positions herself at a crossroads, at gates, at thresholds, at liminal spaces where life intersects, inviting reflection, decision, and transformation. Ironically, a month or so ago, I had a dramatic dream where I was introduced in the dream to the figure of Sophia, Lady Wisdom. It was pretty overwhelming. Maybe one day I'll talk about it. But we hear Lady Wisdom speak from before time itself, before the depths or the mountains, before the earth itself was shaped. She was already present as a witness to divine creativity. She's not passive. She's dynamic. She participates intimately as a master worker alongside God. In that vivid imagery, the hidden narrative unfolds a deep glimpse into divine relationality. Lady Wisdom is eternally near, eternally present, and eternally delighting. Now, obviously, Lady Wisdom ultimately is understood as Christ himself, but it's personified as Lady Wisdom, and she's persistent as she calls, because she speaks directly, not just to the inner restlessness of the day in which Solomon lives. She speaks to our inner restlessness, to our search for meaning and purpose in an often chaotic world. She calls to all who live, not selectively, but universally. Her voice resounds precisely at the crossroads of our own inner fragmentation, at the intersections of our decisions and our uncertainties. She invites us to recognize that our deepest yearnings for coherence, understanding, and purpose find their grounding not in isolated individualism, that word I can't stand, but in relationship, in communion with the divine mystery that's at the heart of all reality with a capital R. And so Lady Wisdom invites us to experience God not as a distant, abstract, or aloof God, but as one who is intimately engaged in creation and human experience. She is God's delight. She rejoices in humanity. She celebrates the sheer goodness of being alive, the delight of existence itself. And for you and I to enter that delight means opening our eyes afresh to the presence that's woven seamlessly into the texture of our daily experiences, the presence of the triune God. Those liminal moments of decision and insight where life reveals its sacred depths because the eternal God is our refuge and dwelling place, and underneath are the everlasting arms. So the eternal God, the Father, underneath at the depths are the Son and the Spirit holding us up. And so Proverbs 8 draws us toward a radical understanding of God's nature as relational, as communal, as inherently joyful. And so this archetypal image of Lady Wisdom delighting alongside God, you ready for this, prefigures the church's later reflection on the triune God, Father, Son, and Spirit in perpetual dance, a mutual sharing of love and joy that eternally overflows into creation. Lady Wisdom's delight in humanity affirms the deep dignity and value of each person, not merely as creations of God, but as creatures invited into this divine communion. And so at one level, while Lady Wisdom speaks of Christ, Lady Wisdom is intended to speak of the church standing at the crossroads, offering people the experience of reconciliation with the God who is three in one. And so Solomon points powerfully to the heart of God as relationality itself, revealing that this God delights not in solitary majesty, but in the joy of relationship. The triune God, seen through Lady Wisdom's eyes, invites us to discover our truest, deepest selves precisely in relationship. Relationship with God, relationship with others, relationship with creation, relationship with ourselves. And so, in our questions about life and existence, our ways of perceiving life, and our ways of being grounded as human beings, we hear Lady Wisdom's ancient yet ever new voice. She beckons us into the relational mystery of Father, Son, and Spirit, whose eternal dance of love, perichoresis is the Greek word, and delight is the very heartbeat of creation itself. And she invites us to live within that divine delight.